All I hear is talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she be down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How you do, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. Let us talk. Let us talk. Arbitration is coming up. It's around the corner. But before we talk about the arbitration and why Jay sees that as a bit problematic, probably means nothing, but it could mean something. I wanted to address this thing about Cariff and James Henry. Both of them I've interviewed. Both of them are upstanding gentlemen. Here's the thing. I'm reading the comments and people are saying, well, James Henry, he's sleepy. Well, Cariff, he said he would vote for Renfro again. Let's be clear. He who is without sin cast the first stone, because people are focused on what Mike Cariff said. He said he would vote for him again. There was context to that, and I'm not making any excuses behind it. I listen to everything. I pay attention to everything around me, and it was a choice between one and the other. That doesn't make it an excuse, but that's understood. I had an interview with James Henry the other day, and if anybody paid attention to the interview, y'all will also hear that James Henry stood by and said this similar, and you can watch the interview for yourself. What I'm saying is that none of them are perfect. Y'all are looking for perfection. How about preference? Y'all are pointing fingers at each other. There's one thing that's for certain. You all do not agree with the current individual that's running your show. That you all can agree with. But the slander campaign amongst the carriers, oh, this one is better than that one's better. Everybody has flaws. Every single person has flaws. There is no such thing as a perfect person. Well, this one wants the money and that one wants the money. People can say, well, James Henry was right there next to, Renfro. Why didn't he do anything? Without knowing the facts behind it. Well, then they'll say, well, Mike Cariff seemed like his name. Listen, just like the general election for the United States of America, right? Each and every one of you have an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. You guys have to understand that when people pick the lesser of two evils, that's kind of what y'all did in the general election as well. Say, oh, I'm gonna vote for this one. It's the lesser of two evils. But then when somebody's in there, oh, y'all made mistakes. Every person has a right to choice. Come on, man. Y'all all want the same end goal. It's just your opinion on who's going to get you there. That's all it is. The slander campaign is ridiculous. If they choose to go through it, cool. But in the comments, bashing each other, we the worker bees. Come on now. Now let's talk about, I hope I got that clear. Well, he said he would vote for, and James Henry said very similar. Very similar. When I was talking to him. Check it out. But let's talk about y'all Arbitrator. I just found out by, I believe it was Jesus Freak. Thank you. He made a comment. He said, our Arbitrator is over 80 years old. I was like, no way. 80 years old. Nothing wrong with that. I'm older. I had a live stream yesterday, but I also made the point to say what I feel is best for my adult son may not be best for him because my generation is different. And this is the thing. The selection of an arbitrator over 80 years old, like Mr. Nolan, it will raise concerns for several reasons, though age alone should not necessarily deem him incapable to do his job. But the first thing is cognitive and physical stamina. He's a very sharp individual. I've listened to him talk, and y'all got to look stuff up. But while many individuals remain sharp and active into their later years, aging can sometimes affect cognitive processing speed, memory, and physical endurance, factors that might impact the ability to handle a complex, high-stakes arbitration case. Arbitration case, high stakes, money. That's what he brought to the table. Your guy brought it, or he's bringing to the table, a compensation package. That's what he's talking about. Your money. Generational perspective. An arbitrator from an older generation might have perspectives or biases shaped by their personal experience and norms that differ significantly from those of the current workforce. This could influence their understanding of modern workplace dynamics, which y'all are going through, technology, and the labor issues that you all are dealing with. The perception of impartiality. Even if the arbitrator is fully competent, other people may question the ability to relate to the challenges faced by the younger and more diverse groups of workers. That's you guys. Y'all are younger, you're more diverse. And it could influence his opinion. Here's why. Sometimes there's a disconnect perspective. Being from an older generation, I cannot fully grasp this new music that these mumble rap. I don't understand it. Younger people love it. Nolan, being from an older generation, may not fully grasp the realities of today's USPS, not yesterday's. From the rise of e-commerce and the demands for the last mile delivery, as well as package delivery versus the letter mail. There are challenges that the younger workforce has to deal with. I'm not saying that the older people don't, but the older people usually have better routes. It's kind of what the union is for. You get your way up so you can have easier later on in life. It is what it is. The decisions that he make could unintentionally reflect outdated views that don't align with the current operational needs. Such as, if you guys have to work overtime, which a lot of you do. Oh, we ain't got no overtime. A lot of you do. You're talking about the compensation package. If you're going to get overtime after 8 hours, if you're going to get double time after 8 hours, all that stuff is going to be in the compensation package. And if he doesn't comprehend that or doesn't realize what you all are dealing with today, he may make a decision based off of the past. This is all we're talking about. The health and the well-being factors. You carriers perform physically demanding tasks from walking long routes to lifting heavy packages. If the arbitrator's age skews towards undervaluing the physical and mental stress that you guys are dealing with, critical issues like fair wages, route adjustments, and safety protocols may not receive the attention that they deserve. So, if they're saying that during the summertime, you all need certain breaks and they can't be, penalized for it, he may not understand that. Because if you guys are delivering more parcels, obviously it's more physical. You're getting in and out the vehicle, up and down stairs. There's a lot of things that are different than 10, 15, 20 years ago. And again, he's a sharp individual. All I'm saying is people's perspectives get skewed when you hit a certain age. Like I said, I can't identify with my 9-year-old on some of what the hell is a Roblox? Why? Who knows? He loves it. I was playing Sega Genesis. It made sense to me. He's on Roblox. No sense whatsoever. But that's how life works. The older you get, he's 80. He'll be making decisions for people that are 18 and up on what they should be making. Just think about how CCAs come in there and they slave laboring. Well, they can do, the $22 an hour should be fine. I'm not saying that's what he's going to say. But again, he pretty much has the last say. Generational prioritization. There may be unintentional favoritism towards maintaining the status quo as opposed to addressing forward-looking concerns such as diversity, inclusion, and technological adaptation within the workforce. Y'all got scanners, you got to do this. rural carriers, every carrier has to carry that damn scanner. The stop and go. Sometimes they ain't had no damn cell phones 80 years ago. What makes you think they really comprehend the whole concept of carrying a scanner and why? I can understand. Beep, you scan it, that's it. It's so much more than that, though. You know that. I know that. Getting signatures, all that other foolishness. Take a picture. Where is that? And the impact on representation. A perceived lack of relatability could result in decisions that feel disconnected from today's daily struggle that the carriers face. So you wouldn't want me making your life decisions. Well, I'm Jay, but Jay 20 years from now is not going to be able to make decisions for how you guys, if you're in a younger generation, should be making your money. Because I'm like, well, shit, when I was back then, we operate, and you hear it right now to this day. You do. The Table 1 carriers can't really relate to the Table 2 carriers. Or they're saying, when we started, we had, 15 trays of DPS. And you guys are like, well, we got 5 trays of DPS, but we got a whole, the whole cargo area full of the parcels. Sometimes age does play a big factor into everyday situations and everyday perceptions and everyday opinions. Again, my opinion as an older individual, look at some of the younger people, and I have my opinion. When you have an arbitrator, which is supposed to be a neutral individual, 80 years older, my opinion seems a bit outdated. But again, this is just my opinion. This means nothing. But if you all ever have to go through this again, if you all ever have to go through an arbitration again, I pray that whoever's in office makes more educated decisions when it comes down to how a carrier or anybody, any laborer that works at the post office, how your lives will be impacted. Because the person that's making the decision, sitting in the middle, should have relatability to the people that are physically working. Not somebody that's been retired for many years. I don't know if this made much sense, but I figured that the gentleman, Jesus Freak, he mentioned it to me and it threw me for a loop. And I'm like, wow, that's insane. Again, y'all take that for what it's worth. Talk about it. Tell me I'm an idiot. I'm okay with it. But again, back to the beginning, please. All the candidates, there's no such thing as a perfect president. All right. That is just what it is. Like I said, I think both gentlemen are great. They're both great picks. Now just do what you got to do. 2026 is coming around quick. All right. This is JH and we out.